Hi, welcome to What's the Book About? I'm your host Kevin, and this is going to be a special edition. This time around, it's actually going to be about the series of novels set in the Expendable Series universe by James Alan Gardner. Okay, up to this point, I've talked about the other novels in pretty fair depth, but I've had to avoid certain things to keep spoilers out of the videos itself, so it's kind of been incomplete. That's not going to be the case for this particular video. I'm going to go back and go over the series as a whole based on the revelations that I'm going to talk about that happen in the last and final book of the series. Now, when I'm doing this, there's going to be lots of spoilers. It's going to be spoiler-tastic, so you've been warned. I'm going to start with the conclusion and revelation in the final book. Now, this is a huge spoiler, but the Explorer Corps isn't just a human-run explorer venture to chart new planets, meet new alien life. No. The League of Peoples, they've set up the Explorer Corps as a pool of heroes. They've been grooming them secretly. Each one is an archetype of a particular type of hero. Why are they doing this? For what purpose? To troubleshoot problems, to find solutions, to do the things that they can't do themselves. Okay, so let's go back to the beginning. And what heroic archetype does Faustino Ramos represent? Naturally, she is the explorer, the person you send out to those dark, mysterious places with the strange going on to find out what's happening there, bring that information back, and reveal it to the rest of the world. And it's how she starts the series, the first appearance. She goes to the planet of no return and actually returns and reveals one of the Admiralty's dirty little secrets. And every time we see her after this, much more about the League of Peoples and how they interact and how those advanced alien races also interact with the younger races, far more than they ever suspected they did. So Commitment Hour also follows this pattern, but most in that it doesn't have a hero, it has a protagonist. So the protagonist doesn't have to fall into the different types of heroes. And this is honestly another reason why I would just skip this book in the series and just go on to the next one. So now we come to Faye Smallwood. And what is her role? What archetype does she represent? She's the classic investigator, the detective, the one that investigates crimes and goes into the dark past and pulls it out the truth and brings it to the light for everyone. She's the one that the Rainbow Peacock goes to for help. She's the one that helps him to make up for his past mistakes. She also reveals that these advanced alien races, like the Rainbow Peacock, are more than just their powers and abilities, no matter how powerful and strange they might be. But they're still people. They still are concerned for the younger races, the less advanced races. And that they are just as vulnerable to making mistakes and errors as the young and less advanced races. It gives them a more realistic quality. So now we come to Edward York, and what role does he play? What is his archetype? Well, this one is fairly obvious. He is the feudal lord, the king. And he is the defender of the weak, the protector of those who are downtrodden. But that's not the main revelation that we get looking back upon this novel. No, we also find out that the Balrog, despite being advanced and super powerful, is still able to be tricked by lesser advanced races. We also learn that the advanced races do pair up with the lower races, and in the form of Kisho, and her being the host of the Balrog and sharing some of its abilities. And yeah, it's a little creepy and scary at times, but you get the fact that there's more than just this particular case going on. Now we come to Orr. who, again, while not an explorer, she's indirectly tied to them and is actually chosen as a hero. And it all works together because she's the archetypical child hero, not someone who's an adult who is part of the system, but who's just learning about the system. And it's because of this that they choose her, because someone part of the system would be too mired in the machinations to realize that the Los Fuentes people have been manipulating the system and are in control of it. So as a child hero, she can see with new eyes and realize that these people have been doing a wrong thing, call them out on it, and demand that they be better people. In fact, at the end of the book, she becomes an adult and starts making those adult choices and starts to actually help the cashlings who've been abused and degenerated by the Los Fuentes and their manipulations. She helps them to realize that they need to become more adults. And it does show a surprising amount of depth to this relationship that the advanced older races have with the younger, less advanced races. And that, yes, again, not nearly as passive as everyone was assuming. Now we come to Philemon Abu Dubai. And, well, again, he's not an explorer himself. He still fits into this heroic archetype in that he's the archetypical wise mentor. And again, when we come to the end of the book and we realize that, gee, the advanced races knew something was going on and that there was going to be a moment or a time when it could be fixed, but they couldn't get involved directly, so they needed a representative. So they've been recruiting, set up a facility, a place where they knew they could get someone to get involved at the right time, at the right place. They might not know who it was, but they could foresee that it was coming. Again, another foreshadowing of the overarching plot in that, gee, this is not going to be the first time that these advanced alien races see a problem coming down the road that they personally can't fix directly, but that they realize if they get someone younger, more advanced, or rather younger and in the right place. Okay, try to fix that with a little edit. Okay. So again, so if they get someone who's younger, less advanced, but there immediately and can deal with the immediate problem, they'll fix a larger issue that they alone can see coming and deal with. And finally, we come to Young-Soo, who is the archetypical Buddhist hero, the person that, through understanding and knowing of their enemy, is able to help them and to solve the problem and achieve victory rather than actual fighting. And there's a subplot in this particular novel about the human and technocracy trying to contact the advanced races and get them more involved, to get them talking. But I mean, it's humorous and funny, and the fact that they don't realize that the advanced races are already active in their lives far more than they expect is just icing on the cake. And the fact that at the end we get this reveal that there's a bigger issue that the advanced races can see coming, but they know they're not going to be able to directly affect. But sadly, we never get to see, because this is the end of the series. So that was it for the series as a whole, but the author did have a short story collection called Gravity Wells. In this short story collection, there are 2 stories set in the Expendable Series universe. The first is The Last Day with the War of Parrots, and the second is Sense of Wonder. Now, I can't say much without completely spoiling the 2 short stories. I will say that the first one is a war story where the author explores the idea of having a war despite the fact that the League of Peoples have the one rule that you're not allowed to kill sentient life, and how they go about doing and fighting a war in this particular fashion without violating that one rule. The second story is humanity's first encounter with an advanced alien. In fact, it's only one alien that they encounter, and it changes the course of the human development. They never really understand completely what this alien is as it passes through the solar system, but it does get humanity started on the path outside of Earth and out into the wild unknown of the universe. Now, the other stories in the book are unrelated to the Expendable Series universe, so I'm not going to talk about them. However, I will say that those two short stories deserve at least a 2 out of 4 stars, in that they're good, but the collection as a whole, I'd say 1, skip it. So if you want to be a completist, try at least to borrow the book to get those 2 good stories. So in the final analysis of the series as a whole, it's actually really stellar, and the mystery that they're setting up, I can kind of see where the author is going with how the younger races are going to play into this, in that we see that the advanced alien races throughout the course of the series have had a detrimental effect on the younger races, and the younger races can fix it if the 2 groups work together. And while the advanced races have lots more abilities, lots more power, lots more knowledge, it's actually hampering them because they've stopped experimenting. Just like the humans and the cashlings have done with what the Los Fuentes have given them, they've got this knowledge and advanced technology and power that they know works, and it's so far advanced of what they used to know that they don't realize there's flaws and little variations that they could try to get something better. That's where the younger races, once they have this knowledge that they experiment with stuff, they can create something better than what they have and what they know to be true. And the advanced races have lost that ability at some point, because they know X and Y together would make Z, and they don't need Z. They don't try different combinations, and the younger races will try different combinations to try to figure out something that'll work. So I think that's where the author was going with this particular storyline. I would have loved to see what the actual problem turned out to be, but overall, the flaws that he gives the advanced alien races, the powers he gives them, the abilities, the mysteries and adventures that the characters go through, all the little details he adds to the cultures that are there, really helps to give this series a great big breadth and depth. And the funny phrases and dialogues and quips and the added bit of humor keeps the books from being overly dry, keeps it all exciting, and as a whole, I have to give this series 4 out of 4 stars. It's something I definitely recommend you go out and get and read and enjoy. Till next time, have a good one.